Okay, class in session. I have got a message from a very wonderful young lady called Bia. And she has said, she's an art teacher. I would love a video about how to develop your art style. My students love your style so much, but find it difficult to do due to having a fear of failure. So, a walkthrough would be great and so fun to watch a fellow artist. Well, okay. I don't know what age the students are, and I don't know if you want to walk my style or other styles, but let's get into a video. This way. Well, hello and welcome back. Right, Bia and her students. We don't know what age group the students are, but it doesn't really matter because as you kind of grow older, from a little diddy little person to a big blobby person, you're actually just the same thing. So it doesn't really matter. So what I will do is I will cut that in 4. Can I cut that in 4? Yeah, why not? Look, there you go. See, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut it in 4 because I'm going to talk about style. And style is one of those things. It's like how you dress yourself. You look at your students, all your students, they all dress different. Or at the weekend, maybe, I don't know if you have a uniform, but they all dress the same. But at the weekend, if they all were to meet, they would all be dressed different. Some would be wearing red, blue, green, yellow, stripes, spots. It doesn't matter. That's your style. And all we're doing is becoming us on paper. So there is no fear in the same way that you're not afraid to dress yourself. You're not afraid to boil an egg. You know, if you boil an egg and you open it and it's too soft, you haven't failed. Next time, oh, that's a little bit too hard. Okay, next time, oh, that's perfect. That's exactly the same way when you're drawing. You need to draw enough, cook enough eggs to get to a point that you like what you're doing, and like what you're doing in a certain, for example, like here we have a pastel, and here you have a pen, and here you have a toothbrush and and here you have a brush, and each one will give you a different texture and a different look to your artwork. So if you're painting with watercolors or if you're pastels, let's try and draw a. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 different drawings, but the same drawing but with different tools. Okay, and that's a great way for you to see a different way of looking at something. So I don't know what today's subject will be. Let's just draw a big circle in each one. Why don't we draw your teacher? I don't really know what your teacher looks like, but let's kind of get in there and draw a very light kind of circle just to give me an idea of what I'm doing. And I got some watercolors here, I got some pastels here, I got some markers. And what we're going to do, I'll draw a basic plan of what each one is going to be. Each one is going to be a circle, okay? And that is going to be the circle for the head. And we're going to add a little bit of extra, going down to a point like that. And that will be the shape of the head, okay? Now, I don't know what your teacher looks like, but I've seen a tiny, teeny, weeny, itsy bitsy picture of her on the Instagram or TikTok. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a person that looks something like her. And all I know is that she will have some lips, and they will be down here. Let's just draw a basic position. and a nose about there in the middle. And then I'm going to add two big glasses, because she's got kind of big glasses from what I can see. And you can draw whatever you want. Why don't you draw you? Okay, so if I'm drawing your teacher, you draw you, a self-portrait, as you would call it. So you're going to draw yourself 4 times, okay? And her hair will be some kind of, I'm guessing it's not long, I'm guessing it's quite short if they're a teacher. So that's basically what I will be working on, that shape, okay? Now, if you're drawing you, you might be drawing yourself with a nice big round head, with 2 nice big eyes, with a nice cute nose, with a big smile. Stick some ears on the side. Give yourself a neck and your body. And you can add your hair or your glasses or whatever, mustache and beard if you have one. In the same way that if that was me, then what I would do is I'll add some blue just to make it work. There you go. I would add a blue beard, and I'd add a big curly mustache. Add my little blue eyes, looking over at the biscuits, and a hat. And that pretty much would look like me. So it's quite simple to break things down into drawing a self-portrait. So you're going to draw yourself with a biro, draw yourself with a pastel or a paintbrush and some paint or whatever you wish, okay? So today is just going to be a bit of fun. And by drawing it in different elements, you will start to find different styles. And this is a great example. I used to do this example with my students years ago. And you don't have to be too realistic. For example, we could give her big blue glasses. And let's start off, we're going to be using these pastels. And they're just, some are broken and some are missing, as you can see. But it's pastels, okay? And these are, you can use whatever you want. Choose whatever your favorite is. You might choose, I don't know, you might choose watercolors, or you might choose big thick paints or something like that, okay? So I'm going to start off and I'm going to give her big glasses. And I'm just, this word of fear is a terrible thing. There is no fear. Fear doesn't exist, okay? Fear is just about that little voice inside yourself saying, you can't do something, but you can do everything. Okay, if you don't know how to use pastels, the more you use it, the better you will be. The more you do it, the easier it will be. Okay, so there's a pattern for you. So I'm going to draw some big glasses. There you go. And that's her big glasses. So you can see that the pastels is quite broken. It's quite rough, really. It's quite a rough kind of texture. But that's part of the fun. It's about exploring it. And let's see if I can get a nice kind of, I don't have a brown, but I've got a nice kind of reddy color. So let's get in there and draw some of Bea's hair. And I will draw her hair coming around to the side. Again, it's quite a loose style. And this might be a style that you like. This might be a style that you kind of develop. It might be a style that you end up drawing for all of your life because you love it so much, as I have done with my art. And there you go. Now, I'm going to get a dark pen. Let's see here. Oh, And this is just a marker pen, just so I can draw some details. And I'm going to draw some big eyes with some pretty eyelashes. She seems to be quite a pretty teacher. She's got a cute little nose. And she has, let's give her a cute smile. And if you do need any of these things broken down a little bit more, please just ask. I'll give her some pretty lips. There you go. So what that is basically, I mean, you can use the same pen later on for anything else. We'll get in and we'll draw her skin. And again, these pastels, I never use these pastels. I have them on the side for sometimes I just want to try something different. And again, what that is you exploring, okay? And again, don't worry about failing. In the same kind of idea about cooking your egg. If you fail, cook another one. If you fail your drawing, draw another one. Try to get into that thing. It's fun. Drawing is fun, you know. Drawing is so incredibly wonderful. And we can give her a nice yellow dress. And that is one style, okay? That is one idea of drawing something. Maybe that yellow dress has got some blue stripes going down through it, giving her a nice sunshiny look. So there is one style, okay? That's one way of drawing. So next time we'll just use a biro, okay? Maybe we'll add some, let's draw her face. We'll draw her lips. Like I said, this might not look anything like your teacher because I really don't know what she looks like. But it could be any woman. It could be, in fact, underneath, maybe I'll draw a man just to show how varied things can be. We'll draw that cute little nose. And again, we are getting into this thing of, now we've gone away from that very rough textured approach to drawing something that's just a biro. And biros are usually quite kind of sketchy and scribbly. So again, the style of it is loose. And you just kind of shade things in. And what this is doing is that it's trying to say, back to the eggs, do I like boiled egg? Do I like scrambled egg? Do I like fried eggs? Do I like omelets? And it's the same way with this. Do I want to have a red jacket, or a black and white spotty jacket, or a blue stripy jacket, or a flowery jacket? You know, each one is a different style. And again, every single thing that you draw is okay. Everything you draw is okay. Nothing is wrong. There is no mistakes with art. You know, art is like a journey. It's like you have no idea what's going to happen until you actually get to where you're going. And that's really where the fun is. When you start to take away that fear, that little fear monster, and you kind of put him away and you say, I'm not afraid anymore. You start to get into this thing of finding art that's exciting. You find art that is inspiring. You find art that makes you want to do it every single day. And you can see that simply by having a different pen, a different tool, from that tool to that tool, I am drawing and thinking different. I'm thinking about adding a little bit of shading to it. And I'm thinking about darken up my lines. I'm thinking about shading in the glasses so that it looks like there's some kind of reflections on the glasses. Do you see? So each style, each tool will be very different. Very different, but each one, this one is right. This one is right because it's a different tool, so everything is different. The rules are different. And the reason why I chose ink was because I didn't like, I'd spent so many years in animation where everything is very neat. I was drawing in pencil, and the pencil was very accurate and very clean and very, and I wanted to use something a little bit more loose, a little bit more messy, to be honest. I do like drawing messy. And these are very quick sketches because we have a time limit, obviously. But what you can get from this is that now the hair, you've got a biro. What kind of hair would you do with a biro? So it makes you think. It makes you think in a different way. Like with that, if I use a very quick action with my pastel, it would give me a very thick, gorgeous hair. Whereas with this, it's a very thin type of line. So how am I going to draw the hair? Well, you think of it in a different way. Now, the beauty of drawing in different styles is that sometimes two styles can cross over. So, if you're doing some pen and ink like this, some kind of biro drawing, let's make those glasses darker. And I want to make the glasses darker just so that they stand out more. Now, I'm sure your lovely teacher, Bia, will tell you a lot of different tools, watercolors and stuff like that. So she can guide you into finding 4 different styles for you to use. And this is the same for students. It's the same for adults. It's the same for everything. It's about finding a way to draw that connects with you, that you feel something good about, You might say, oh, well, a pastels is too messy, too rough. I don't like it. And biro, like this pen here, it's too like black and white. I don't like it. I don't like it. And you can start to talk with yourself about what you do like, In the same way that I would say if I was to go into a restaurant, and say, give me all of the food on the menu. Everything, bring it to me. I would taste something. Too spicy. Next one. Too salty. Next one. Oh, I don't like that taste. Next one. I don't like it. It's too crunchy. And then the next one, you think, oh my God, that's probably the most delicious taste I've ever had in my life. Okay, put that on the good side. And the next one, oh, it's very different to that, but I do like that texture in my mouth. And you put that on the good side. And then eat the next one, you go, oh, that's just horrible. And you put it on the not good side. That's the same with art, Let's try and put some little, because I'm kind of running into some late times here. So I'm going to, is there some watercolor somewhere? So I'm going to just wet up some paint, some watercolors, just like a little cheap set of paints like this, and I'm going to paint over my ink, my biro. And I'm going to, the one trick with watercolors, if you are going to use more water, less paint. A lot of people always put so much paint in, and it really is more water. Even there, I would say I've done too much paint, not enough water. And you can basically try to build a combination of styles. Like here, I've got biro and watercolors. Let's give her a green dress. And what it is doing is it's basically giving me ideas about what I like. And as you're going through each painted or each colored style, ask yourself, what did you like? Did I like the wetness of the watercolor? Did I like the hard line of the biro? What was it that I liked? You see, one of the lovely things about watercolors is layering. And you wait until the paint is dried and then you add a little bit more color to it. I'm doing it in a very brutal style here because I'm running out of time. But you can see the way that I've added a darker green on top of a lighter green. And that's added to my shadows. And we can get in to do a little bit of touch up with her skin. And this is basically giving me feeling, okay? And those lips, we really need to get a nice red for those lips. I'm sure Miss Bia wears lipstick and I'm sure she's got a lovely red color in there. But try to see art as fun, okay? It's a fun thing to do. It's like playing football or playing tennis, or if you're playing football and you hit the ball and it doesn't go in the net, you don't win that point. It's okay. It's okay. Get on with it. Okay, and it's the same with art. If you draw something and it didn't turn out as good as you wanted it to be, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter because your next drawing might be better. Your next drawing after that might be even better. And you might keep drawing and finding different ways to find your art and to find your style. But your style will be for you. My way of drawing isn't like other people's way of drawing. But I'm happy to draw that style, and you need to be happy with what you are. But there is no fear. Don't be afraid of any of it. Right, another style would be, maybe we could do like these big markers. These are these kind of 2-tip markers. You have a skinny one at one end and a fat part at the other. And it's a way of drawing the same type of thing. It doesn't matter. I'll do blue glasses again. No, let's change. Let's give her green glasses this time. Let's give her some nice green glasses. And again, this is a very different style. You can see how different straight away, instantly, you have that nice green color with no outline, no guiding lines, okay? And yellow, let's give her some, I don't have a nice pink color, do I? Oh, I might have a nice peach color there. Is that nice? Too dark maybe, okay. And we'll give her, this yellow has a little bit more orange in it, but it will give you an idea. Make sure we leave a space for her lips. And again, the whole point here is not that it's a favored style, but it's a different style. And the way that we are working here is to find what style that we like. Not the guy that's next to you, not the girl that's on the other side, but you. What style do you like? What color do you like? You know, the same way that I will give her some nice red lips, but maybe I don't want to give her brown hair. And this is becoming a very kind of graphic kind of, you might see in some advertising poster of somebody who's going on holiday, you know, there's like, you know, those kind of posters with, they've got a, you know, a wine glass in their hand and they're all sunshine behind. Let's draw a nice sunshine up in them. That's the sunshine behind Miss B. And I'm going to find a nice light blue for her eyes today. And I'm going to draw and what we are doing here is that we are beginning to show ourselves that we can do different styles. We can draw in watercolors, we can draw in biro, we can draw in pastels, we can draw in markers, we can draw in ink, we can do whatever we want. And that is giving us this beautiful, beautiful confidence. Green. I would really want to give Miss B some green. Is that green? Green. That's kind of like a yellow. Okay. Just to help with the sunshine approach. And this is a very kind of like holiday poster, like I said. It's got that feeling about it. So there you have, already you're starting to get different kind of images. You're getting different styles. And maybe you want to draw some kind of outline. Maybe even with the hair, you want to do some like little lines in the hair. Maybe just to kind of make it look more stylized. But already you've got 4 different styles. And for the final style, I don't know. Ink. Why don't we do an ink one? Let's do a tiny, tiny little ink one. There was one of the old versions of me and Mr. Miro. We did the Funky Doodler Club, which I'm hoping will come back to life at some point. And this is going to be an ink pen. And it's just a dip pen. You dip it in the ink and you draw with it. But you could draw the same with brush or anything else. And I'm going to try and keep it quite a calm drawing today. I won't go too wild, but as you can see that my way of drawing is quite messy, but this pen can also draw very gently. And already you can see that this ink is very different to the biro ink. So how are you getting on drawing yourself? How are you getting on with these self-portraits? I would love to see what you're doing. And I'm drawing these in a very slow style, but please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask your teacher. And your teacher is already a great artist because, you know, for her to become an art teacher, you have to go through lots of different stages. So I'm sure you have an incredible art teacher. And if any of the students are watching this right now, you can ask your mom and dad to go and like this video. And there you go. So we're going to kind of give her a little nose. And we're going to give her some lovely lips. I think your teacher looks very pretty with her big glasses and her lips, and so you're very lucky to have such a beautiful teacher as well as being clever. So be nice to your teacher. One day when you're older, you will come back to school and thank your teacher for all that she has taught you. Now, as you can see, this is already a different style. But I can still add some little shading like I did with the biro, if I wish. And her hair. So try and explore your art. Try not to be afraid of trying, because you really cannot go wrong. There is nothing with art that has to be. It's not like building a car, you know. You have to build a car like this. Otherwise all the wheels fall off, you know. But being an artist, you can draw any way you want, in any style you want, in any color that you want. You could paint your teacher with a green face and pink glasses with purple hair, and people would still say it's beautiful. So have some confidence and enjoy your art lessons with your teacher. Art lessons, I love everything to do with all of art. And I hope you will too. And I hope just from this video that it will teach you a lot. And your teacher will be able to help you with everything that you need. And if you feel like you like to do a certain style, talk with your teacher. Because like here, I've done it in ink. And this ink is a little bit slower to dry, okay? It does take a little bit more time when you're using this type of loose ink. But once it dries, and it's an Indian ink, not a water-based ink. This is an Indian ink, and I can paint watercolors on top. So in the same type of idea there, you can mix that. Or maybe I could put some pastels, or maybe I could put some pan. Do you see how some of these styles are starting to mix up? And you need to explore all these different options. You need to say, well, if I wanted to paint on that and use this and do that and do that. And at some point, the more you draw and the more you change your drawing style, the more you try different tools, the more you will love that exploring. And the more you will find a style that just clicks with you. My drawing style clicks with me, and I love drawing in ink. I love it, and I love putting a little bit of color on now and again. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps in some very basic way to explore. But this is something that you can do again and again. Draw a frog, you know, and then draw 4 different frogs. Draw your mum. And then draw 4 different ways. Draw your uncle, draw your dad, draw your pet dog. And these will make your mind start to pull towards, once you've drawn your mum, once you've drawn your dad, once you've drawn your teacher, once you've drawn yourself, and drawing yourself is a good one, and then drawing your pet dog or drawing a cow in 4 different ways, you will start to find that the more you're drawing in 4 different ways, you will start to have certain things that you love. And that's when you start to follow that path a little bit. I love watercolors. So you start to follow into the watercolors and draw more and more watercolors and explore what you can do with watercolors. Or maybe it's felt pens. Maybe you love felt pens. You want to draw more that way. But whatever it is, there is no fear. You can do nothing wrong. It's all fun. Keep it fun. Keep changing. Keep exploring. And you will have a fantastic day. And you know, when I go out and I have a bit of a bad day, or I cook some dinner and it doesn't taste very good, I start to draw. I feel fantastic. I feel so happy. So I hope this has helped. Bea, if you need any more help, just ask. I hope this has helped. I hope this is kind of giving you some idea of maybe doing 4 different styles and drawing a cow, drawing a sheep, drawing a dog, drawing your mum, and doing that type of exploring maybe each time will help. Thank you very much, everybody, and all you students. You keep studying. You still be good to your teacher, okay? Because you're very lucky to have such a talented and clever art teacher. And I will see you all back on my video channel very soon. Have a fantastic, arty, messy, exploring, fun and funky day. See you soon. Bye-bye.